Florida Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program uses volunteers to advocate on behalf of residents of long-term care facilities. It's part of a national network of ombudsmen, and Robert Cochran is here to explain how this program works. Robert, welcome. I had no idea actually this program existed here in the Central Florida area. So tell us basically, what do you do? What is your program all about?
The Ombudsman program began in the 1970s thanks to President Richard Nixon, because at that time there were no one to advocate for those who live in nursing homes, assisted living centers, or adult family care homes. So our job is to advocate for them. Ombudsman is a Swedish term that means to be the speaker of the people. And our job is to go into facilities, find out what their needs are, respond to their needs, and without doubt is to make their life better for their living condition they're in.
So actually, you have folks, volunteers, that go out and do a site visit at one of these facilities or a group home. And what exactly do they do? What are they looking for? What are some of the assessments that are done?
What we're asked to do on a quarterly basis is to go into each of our buildings, without doubt, is to meet the residents and let them share with us how they're living their life there. Is the food good? Is the care well? Are they responding to call bells? Are they happy? We understand that they really don't want to be there, but our job is to make it as close to being home for them as possible. Mm-hmm. And when any issues or concerns is guided by the resident, that is the most important part. We are guided by them. They're the ones who are living the life. My opinion of the place doesn't matter. Theirs is the one that does.
And that's it. I'm sure the elderly person who is in the facility, you probably have a caregiver or a family member that contacts you when something seems a little off, or they're just not sure the safety or what the situation might be.
We can get calls of concern from family members, from residents, even staff or volunteers who have gone out to visit facilities on a situation or concern, and what is the best way to resolve it.
Ah, I see. So when they come out to the site visit and they've had a complaint, so how does someone kind of go through that process of either filing a complaint or contacting you?
Well, what will happen is we may get a telephone call. We actually have various documents that we're required to do. Pretty much is an intake form when somebody called, the complaint overview. Mm-hmm. What is very, very important also is a consent form. We need permission from the resident to go forward with a case.
Oh.
A family member might have a concern, but the resident, for them, it might not be the concern. So thus a case will close. But once a resident gives us the green light, our job is to find out the issue, the concern, what happened, what transpired, what do we need to do working alongside the facility to make that resident's life better, and without doubt is to, I'll simply say, stop the cold coffee in the morning.
Oh, sure. And so maybe this complaint has been filed, and so relatively, how long does it take before everything comes into action?
Response time for some situations, some cases as we call them, can actually be resolved within a week or two. Mm-hmm. Some of them may take longer. Some resident perhaps may want to, move to a different facilities. So once again, that takes working with the nursing home that he or she lives in, and also with another nursing home to allow for that transfer to happen. But I always say too, once something is resolved quickly, I will not close the case for at least another couple of weeks to make sure that it is in place. Mm-hmm. So the cold coffee doesn't happen again in the morning. Right.
Now, you've mentioned volunteers. Now, you have all these great volunteers that are helping, and maybe we have some folks that are interested in helping you out. Is there any type of training, or what type of person would you look for as a volunteer?
The volunteer pool is actually, it's amazing. Many of them are retired nurses, lawyers, regular people who simply want to do something besides, watching TV during their retirement years. I even had one individual when I did this before coming down to Florida, who was a cemetery stone cutter.
Oh my goodness.
Who was one of my most dedicated volunteers. But without doubt, the volunteers really have a very caring heart. Mm-hmm. Without doubt, they want to make sure that whatever is going on in Mrs. Smith or Mrs. Jones' life can get even better. So the process to becoming a volunteer is we have an application form, we do a background check and fingerprinting, because we're working with people in a certain area, the nursing homes, et cetera, to make sure the background is fine. We check references, we have a day-long class, and to make sure they're really fit to go out alone, we actually have them go on 3 different assessments with a seasoned volunteer, and also work on 3 different cases with another volunteer. once again, to give them the full flavor of all that's going to be going on as part of being a volunteer.
Right.
I have one volunteer who's been doing this for over 20 years.
Oh, gosh.
You know, and I don't expect her ever to retire.
So if there are folks out there looking for something for their retirement years, they can
I
come
can
volunteer.
use you, I can need you, I can train you. It's fun, it's a great bunch of people that are out there. And you really will realize is that the reward for doing this really can't be put into words. It's part of your heart.
It
really
truly
what happens.
is. And Robert, it is so nice to hear that there is a program that is advocating for the needs of residents of long-term care facilities. Thanks so much for being here.
You're very welcome.